Good morning to one and all. Today we start about the topic ecosystems energy. In the physics you have learned about energy. Energy means the ability of an organism or machine to do work by supplying some amount of fuel. So here energy in our body, when you take our digestive system, food gives us energy. Food is digested first. Food is digested. This digested food is absorbed, sent into the liver. Liver tests the food and makes them absorbed into the blood. Blood takes them into the cells. In the cells, mitochondria utilizes the glucose, takes the glucose, and glucose is converted to energy plus carbon dioxide plus water. So it is 563 kilocalories of energy is generated from one glucose molecule. Means glucose which is absorbed from the food will be converted in the mitochondria of the cell, which is also called as the powerhouses of the cell, will generate the heat, that is energy in the form of heat, and that is releasing is 563 kilocalories plus carbon dioxide and water. So this association is also combined with oxygen, because ours is a aerobic respiration, O2 is utilized. So aerobic respiration, mitochondria utilizes the oxygen and converts the glucose into energy. So energy is in a system is a component or a functional unit which makes the organism to live. So here energies for energy, you should know that energy is a component of a functional unit of ecosystem which is useful for the organisms to survive through a proper chain. Now coming to the energy flow. So here, before knowing about this, universal source of energy. Universal source of energy. Energy, you know, it is a functional unit which makes the system to run. Already we have discussed that it is a functional unit. So universal source of energy is sun. Sun is the universal source of energy on earth and surface of water. So it is approximately 95% of the source of energy to all the living organisms on the earth is sun. And only in the case of deep sea waters, that is hydrothermal energy. Hydrothermal energy is the source of energy. Except in this particular case, the universal source of energy on the earth surface, is sun. So sun will radiate the energy onto the earth surface. Sun is radiating the energy in the form of sunlight plus which generates some heat called as, so your sunlight and heat produced by the sun is the source of energy to the all the living organisms, and most of the factors, abiotic factors present on the earth and surface of water except deep sea waters where hydrothermal energy is the source of energy. Hydrothermal energy means water current. Hydrothermal energy or water current. With this hydrothermal energy only, by the flowing of water from high level to low level, we are producing hydrothermal energy or hydroelectricity. Hydrothermal energy. So whatever the sun, earth is reaching to the, this is the earth, wherever the sun is there, that is reaching. In this, when it is moving from the sun to the earth surface, it takes 8.5 minutes. 8.5 minutes to reach the earth surface. So, in this 8.5 minutes, okay, whatever the energy generated here is absolutely 100%. But when it reaches onto the earth surfaces, it becomes less than 50. Less than means approximately more than 50% of energy is lost. More than 50% of energy is lost. So whatever the 50% reaching on the earth surface is called as PAR. PAR. PAR means photosynthetically active radiation. Photosynthetically active radiation. Photosynthetically active radiation. This is very important. One mark question generally. Many of the times that will be asked. So it is called as photosynthetically active radiation. And this is less than 50%. Is it right? Less than is right? Obviously, most probably this will be right because I will remember L means less than. So, from this, plants take approximately only 2 to 10% of PAR. 2 to 10% of PAR, that is photosynthetically active radiation. Photosynthetically active radiation. This 2 to 10% is required by the plants to convert the sunlight to chemical energy. This 2 to 10% required by the plants, and they convert, that is they trap the sunlight and they convert the sunlight into chemical energy, that is nothing but glucose. So here productivity is taking place. Here what is taking place? Productivity, that is biomass generation is taking place. Biomass means mass, a component with energy present in it, that is nothing but the glucose or starch or proteins or vegetable fats, whatever it is. This is called as the biomass. Generally, the biomass is the dry weight of a substance. Biomass is a dry weight of a substance. Means if you take any human body, we are 80 kgs now. We are 80 kgs now. Once we dead, every part, water is removed from our body. That is called biomass. Generally, dry weight means 80 kgs minus 40 kgs water. 40 liters water is equal to 40 kgs. This is called as biomass. After removing wet weight, it is also called as wet weight minus water present in body is equal to dry weight. So, need point of view, this is most important. Biomass means dry weight, that is the glucose or starch or proteins or vegetable fats present in produced by the plants by taking the sunlight, and that is 2 to 10% of the part, that is photosynthetically active radiation. Plants by using the sunlight and converting that into chemical energy by a process called as photosynthesis is called as is necessary for the organism, and that is called as the biomass. The biomass means dry weight. The dry weight is wet weight of an organism minus the water present in an organism is equal to dry weight. That is, which cannot be again removed, is called as a dry weight. Is called as a dry weight. So here photosynthetically active radiation, already we have discussed that. PAR means photosynthetically active radiation. This is from the sun, it will be released onto the earth. During its movement from the sun to the earth, which is 8.5 minutes, okay, whatever the power reaching onto the earth surface is less than 50% of photosynthetically active radiation. From this, plants take only 2 to 10% of power, and the plants now convert this sunlight. Plant will convert the sunlight by taking the sunlight, and from the underground by soil and water and nutrients, that is minerals, they will convert this into chemical energy, and this process is called as photosynthesis. The process is called as photosynthesis. Photo means light. Synthesis means production. By using the light, chemical components are produced. The process is called as photosynthesis. Kirana Samyoja Kriya. What you will call? So photosynthesis. So this, whatever the power that is utilized by the plants is making all the living organisms sustain. All the living organisms to survive. Make all the living organisms to survive. So this is making all the living organisms to sustain on this earth surface. So this type of sustenance is only possible by the plants, and the solar energy is captured by the plants and converted into the chemical energy. This chemical energy can be starch, can be proteins, can be fats, that is vegetable fats, can be the glucose molecule which it is going to generate. So here all the living organisms are basically categorized into three types. Here we categorize the living organisms into three types. Living organisms are classified into three types. One is producers, means only green plants. Only green plants, that is, which undergo process of photosynthesis. Which undergo the process of photosynthesis. The second group of organisms are called as consumers. Consumers means which consumes, which are produced by the producers, which consumes green plants are called consumers. Here these are again three types. Herbivores, second type. Carnivores, third type. Higher carnivores are tertiary consumers or tertiary carnivores. These are also called as primary consumers. These are called as secondary consumers or carnivorous animals. These are called as higher carnivores or tertiary carnivores, or the final level of organisms in the food chain. And the third type are after the death of producers, after the death of consumers, there are certain organisms depend on these matter. Already we have discussed in the decomposition, so called as decomposers. Also called as decomposers are detrivorous organisms. Detrivorous organisms like earthworm, cockroach and bacteria and fungi. So So these are called as, this is how the living organisms are categorized into the different groups. And the first group of organisms which take the sunlight as the energy and convert that sunlight and trap that solar radiation or incident radiation into energy, that is chemical energy. As a result, producers are the first level of organisms which are directly taking the sunlight and converting the sunlight on the earth and making the other organisms to survive. So here they are called as producers, also called as green plants, and consumers will be directly depending on the plants. Producers like herbivores directly depending on the plants. So here the dependency is direct, but here the carnivore animals cannot eat green plants. They will eat the herbivore animals. So it is an indirect relationship. But all the organisms on the earth will depend on the producers directly or indirectly. All the organisms on the earth's surface will be dependent on the plants, that is producers, directly or indirectly. Directly or indirectly. Here you can see the relation is direct. Here you see that the relation is indirect because they are dependent on only herbivores. And here higher carnivores is only dependent on the herbivores or certain type of carnivores. So here the interdependency of sustenance of life on the earth surface is because of the dependency, and it may be direct dependency or indirect dependency. Direct dependency or indirect dependency. So based on this direct or indirect dependency, so this in the ecosystem unit, first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics exists. First law of, there are two laws which are explained in the ecosystem, and that two laws, first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics says that unidirectional flow of energy. Unidirectional flow of energy. Unidirectional flow of energy. Uni means one word movement, only one word movement, that is sun to plants, sun to plants, plants to herbivores, herbivores to carnivores, carnivores to tertiary carnivores, herbivores to sun to plant, plant to herbivores, herbivores to carnivores, carnivores to tertiary carnivores. And the death of these animals, after the death of these animals, the energy will be taken by the bacteria, fungi, earthworm, and cockroaches, so on. So these are called as decomposers. So here there is a universal unidirectional flow of energy. there is a universal unidirectional flow of energy. The first law of thermodynamics states that there is a unidirectional, that is onward movement of energy only, and from this bacteria they will decompose and they will turn into soil. Again soil will be taken by the newly growing plants. So it is a cyclic process, and the energy is unidirectional flow from the sun to the decomposers through a channel. So this is called as the first law of thermodynamics. This is called as the first law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics states that second law of thermodynamics states that constant flow of energy, like today morning the sun has given the sunlight, but it will say in the afternoon that I won't give the energy. Obviously it has to give. So likewise the plant, I have done my sufficient food, I don't want to prepare food. Plant never says that, because in order the system to run in the continuous way, there will be constant supply of energy to the system, and constant supply, that is regular supply and constant supply of energy, is mandatory for the organisms to continue this. So the first law and second law of thermodynamics states that the energy flow is unidirectional flow and the energy supply is continuous flow. So because of which the ecosystem is running in the proper way. So here the first law of thermodynamics, the second law of thermodynamics states that unidirectional flow of energy, constant supply of energy in the system.